the vast majority
Of
of
families are
busy
doing
moms need
too
to
much.
clear out their schedules. They're doing too much.
I mean, this is literally the approach Greg and I have taken. We say no to so many things because we want to leave space in the schedule to be calm, to be peaceful, to be relaxed, to be patient, to not be rushing, rushing, rushing. Yeah, there's a time and place to rush and to move quick and get done and whatever, but that shouldn't be every single day of our lives. We're not meant to live like that. Like honestly, we're not.
And yes, we should be involved in great things, and our kids should be involved
Right.
in great things, but not too much. Too many families and kids are overscheduled.
Okay, so we need to remove blocks and then we also need to gain specific skills as well. That's another key element of this, right? So that we know how to put up boundaries, we know how to regulate our emotions, we teach our kids how to regulate their emotions. We have routines that help us be more effective and are calming, not bringing more chaos and stress into our lives, right? So when our systems are working, when we're well rested, when we know how to navigate the meltdown that's occurring, like that's when patience isn't just something we're pretending or acting out. That's when it's literally authentic because we feel calm and patient when we have these things in place. So I want to go through the specific skills and mindset shifts we need to have. But I want to start by talking about and this is part of the mindset shift, but it's this well, it actually ties in perfectly. Hold up this book right here. So I ordered this book a couple months ago and Greg has been reading it with we have the mentoring accountability program. It's for teens that are 16 plus that he meets with every week. And they've been discussing it. And I remember adopting this practice in my earlier parenting years. Laura says she couldn't see it. The book's called Let Them by Mel Robbins. And it's essentially, she calls it the let them theory. You can call it allowing, you can call it surrendering, but it's ultimately this approach of not trying to control everything. And this was important for me because that's the kind of person I was. I wanted to control all the things.
Any moms here relate to that desire?
Mhm. I realized though, the more I tried to control things, the angrier I would get and the less in control I felt. And so I had to practice this approach of allowing and surrendering and not fighting against reality, right? Like I used to get upset at my children for behaving like children. And then I realized, wow, they're actually just behaving like children and I'm only making myself and them miserable by fighting against reality.
From my journey of being more patient as a parent, it was that right there. I remember the day when I thought, "Man, why do I get bothered that my kids act their age?" It is perfectly normal for an 8-year-old to act like an 8-year-old, and when she's 12, she can act 12. You with me? A 3-year-old boy just terrorizing the whole house and hitting everything and jumping off everything and climbing everything and making it's perfectly normal for kids to act their age. Now, I'm not talking about allowing whatever annoying behavior, inappropriate behavior, but when I realized I 100% am going to allow my children to act their age no matter what other people think or do, it was an absolute game changer for me to be a more authentically patient parent.
Hmm. Yeah. So in her book, Mel Robbins, essentially the theory is like when someone is about to do something you don't like, let them. Now, in parenting, again, we're not talking about like somebody's going to smack your mother. We're not talking about that kind of stuff. Like, yes, there should be boundaries about certain things, but if they're putting on their shoes and they're doing it slowly, let them. If they're telling you a very long, pointless story, let them. If they made a mistake, okay, let them make a mistake. If they have big feelings and they need and want to share them with you, let them without trying to push or hurry them through it or tell them to get over it. Like, let them be who and what they are Because when you do that, when you allow more of that letting, it gives you more influence when you finally put in the boundaries.
Yep. And the teaching. You're far more effective as a
Yes.
mentor.
Because you're not trying to teach and control and manage every little tiny detail of their lives and everything they do.
What about the opposite when they're 18 and they act 10? Yeah, I mean, you start with the let them theory. It's like, oh, my teenager is acting childish. I'm not gonna get upset, angry, impatient, explode because that just kills my power of influence. I'm gonna quote let them so that I'm in a place to mentor them and guide them and help them mature. Because yeah, it's unacceptable for an 18-year-old to keep acting like a 10-year-old.
Well,
So you guide them to that.
I, I I have to add something.
Yes.
Um, from a psychological viewpoint, in some ways, I think that when our children, and I would even say ourselves, when we act in a way that's not age appropriate, meaning like we're 18 and we act like we're 10, sometimes what has happened is a very key developmental phase may have been missed. So maybe something they were supposed to learn when they were 10 in some area didn't happen, then it's almost like they regress to that in a certain area. So, in a way, yeah, we still let them because we're like, okay, right now I'm parenting that 10-year-old child that never learned this lesson they were supposed to learn. And so we still have to like give them grace and be accepting, affirming so that we can help them move through that so they can then holistically be at their age appropriate maturity, if that makes sense. So that kind of stuff is important to keep in mind because it helps us to realize what's happening on like a cognitive developmental level. Okay, so I just want to finish this part really fast about the allowing. So as we come to this, like we're trying to develop authentic patience, it needs to be from a place of allowing, surrendering, and then gaining the skills as well. So we still need to have the skills. We still need to know how to manage the tantrum, how to mentor our child through immaturity, how to help them deal with big emotions. We still need those skills, but we're going to be better, one, at receiving, let's just call it intuition on how to handle it if we're allowing and surrendering first. Because otherwise, if we're in this mode of controlling and trying to force things to happen, we leave no room, we leave no space for that. So that's a key foundational piece here. Now, on that, we build.
Let me expound just a tiny bit. So here's what I want to expound just a tiny bit here. Let's say I was somehow able to reach to the camera and grab Christy's arm and start pulling and say, Christy, come over here. What's Christy going to do immediately? Pull back, right? Every human from tiny to old absolutely abhors being controlled. No human being wants to be controlled. And so if I grab Rachel, I start tugging, and I'm trying to force her to do things. And I'm like, Rachel, you're acting so childish. And I'm going to try to force her, control her behavior. She's going to pull back. She's going to resist. It's automatic. It's instinctual. So that's why we're emphasizing this so much, because I know you think, well, I'm the adult here. I'm the parent. I know what's best. I'm going to make you do this because what you're doing, you shouldn't be doing. And there are a few instances where like their life could be threatened, and yes, stop them. But if we're just trying to improve a behavior, trying to control it won't work. That's why we're saying, sit back a little bit, be authentically patient, and then influence, inspire,
Starting with the allowing.
mentor, coach. Like you're going to be so much more effective in altering the behavior when you're not trying to control it, because they will resist, period. Nobody likes to be controlled.
Yes.